Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
On the computer, the folder opened by the mutant monkey only has a simple letter, M. But after opening, the things inside are completely different. All are high-definition photos. In the photo, some strange faces are and eyes are dull, or tied with a rope, or locked by an iron chain. There are even children and old people who look like this, being tortured into a humanoid form. If it weren't for eBay to regenerate as a snake now, but with the eyes of human beings, seeing such a scene would definitely burst out an unprecedented murderous intent. The most terrifying thing is, in these photos, Yishan is still standing impressively. Wearing a suit with long, narrow eyes, no matter what time it was, he looked sly and sinister. Even if this person is his biological younger brother, eBay doesn't have any good feelings for him. It seems that the betrayal of those people is not without reason. Yes, Han, is it really worth it to obtain the company's property and power? Chi. eBay slowly spit out Shinzi. At this moment, some bloodshot eyes appeared in the dark and deep pupils. Sure enough, the result of the matter was similar to what eBay had guessed. Behind Wangdong, there were people planning this matter. Of course, the death of Wangdong's people was not a pity for death. Relatives are threatened. After the success, these guys still have leisure time to go out on vacation. It is obvious that they finally stood on Yishan's side and accepted the benefits that Yishan gave. Continue to open the next file. eBay commanded the mutant monkey with a hint of murderous intent in his voice.
Yes.
The mutant monkey is clever. Bang bang. The fingers continued to tap the keyboard, not dare to delay. Soon, the next file is also opened. The file has no name. However, when it was opened, eBay saw the text inside, and the killing intent on his body once again ushered in a second outbreak. Yishan is indeed very cunning, and his character is not good. But with his IQ, he can't do this at all. And what is recorded in the second document are those who conspired with Yishan. Benefits drive people's hearts. Humans, really. However, God has given me a chance to be reborn. Those who have hurt, betrayed, and framed me will all be punished as they deserve, no matter what they are from. Purpose. eBay took 2 deep breaths. For the sake of profit, human beings can do anything. In this regard, it is much deeper than those beasts. At this moment, eBay's eyes became colder and colder and colder. Wong, do you want to continue? There are many files stored in the chip. After the mutant monkey felt the terrible killing intent released from eBay's body, he shivered. Seeing eBay's silence for a long time, he asked tremblingly, "No need." Booming. eBay spit out the letter and shook his head gently. In the next moment, his tail moved only slightly, and the computer that cracked the chip under the impact of eBay made a loud rumbling sound. In the blink of an eye, it became a pile of flying parts scattered all over the floor. Crackling. Chi. In the parts, electric lights are still flashing from time to time. The few people who organized the logistics of the mercenary saw this scene, and the cold sweat on their bodies became more turbulent. With just a single blow, the computer was broken into pieces. What if the blow hit a human being? Anyway, at this moment, these mercenaries didn't even dare to think about that scene. It was terrible. It was crazy. King. The mutant monkey stared at the ruins in front of him in a daze, with all horror in his eyes. He thought he was dissatisfied with what he was doing, and it provokes eBay. In this moment, the mutated beasts around, the murderous eyes, all gathered on the mutated monkey. As long as eBay gave an order, the monkey would be torn to pieces immediately. It doesn't matter what your business is. It's just that after reading the contents inside, I'm very upset. Chi. eBay spat out Shinzi and said indifferently. After this sentence fell, the mutant monkey breathed a sigh of relief. The killing intent in the eyes of the surrounding mutant beasts also disappeared. In addition, your technology is very good. You can try to operate the computer more in the future. When I have the opportunity, I will find some human beings to teach you. eBay continued. Yes, King. When the mutant monkey had lingering palpitations, his heart was even more overjoyed at this moment. Although he has no interest in learning computers or anything, but the king has it. If he can help the king in the future, his status will definitely be greatly improved, there will be a lot of food to swallow, and the speed of evolution will be faster. Yes, the idea of this mutant monkey is that simple. And at this time, many mutant beasts around them all cast envy eyes on the monkey. It's just that the mercenary organization logistics staff who are cracking the computer have no idea of relaxing at this moment. Sweating a lot. Use the most primitive cracking method. The calculation speed of the computer is too slow. The cracking progress bar has only reached 5%. At this speed, it would take at least 10 days to do it. They didn't dare to look at eBay, for fear that they would make eBay unhappy if they were not careful. They directly smashed them into meat sauce. How many people are needed to crack this computer? eBay's eyes were placed on those logistics mercenaries, and he suddenly spoke. Okay. The voice fell, and all those people trembled suddenly. At this moment, they thought a lot in their minds. What does it mean? If there are few people needed to crack, the extra people will be killed? After thinking of this, each of them felt that their hearts were about to jump out, an unprecedented fear spreading in their bodies. But, faced with eBay's problem, these people dare not conceal anything. The brute force cracking program has been activated. Because it is an ordinary calculator, it takes a certain amount of time. So only one person can look at it. The white man said tremblingly. His eyes looked at eBay. There were many expectations in it, as if begging eBay not to kill him. eBay's eyes were cold. Chi, I keep spitting out the letter. Very good. You, stay here and continue to crack this computer. Other human beings, everyone puts up a computer and gives them any knowledge about computers that you have learned? eBay continued. When speaking, his eyes swept over the mutant beasts. These mercenaries organized logistics personnel, and when they heard this, they were stunned on the spot. Be mentors to these monsters? What's special? Is God convulsed today? There was a hint of coldness in the air. The sea breeze keeps blowing. On the mercenary base side, besides the white man, the other logistics personnel also slowly swept their eyes from the surroundings. A giant python with a body length of tens of meters, several meters high, grinning, murderous lion in his eyes. There are countless mutant beasts of various kinds. These mutant beasts are completely different from ordinary beasts. First of all, their bodies are huge, and secondly, their eyes are extraordinarily bright, which makes them unique. But similarly, the murderous aura on these mutant beasts is also unprecedentedly huge. These mercenaries, standing in front of these mutant beasts, were suddenly so small as ants. What's more terrifying is, now this python with a body length of more than 120 meters is uttering human words. Let these humans teach the mutant beasts to learn computers. Is something wrong? Obviously, there is nothing wrong with this. Can you refuse? I definitely can't refuse. At least with the courage of these logistics mercenaries, there is no courage to refuse. Yes, zombie. Don't worry, as long as we can, we will teach them all. Yes, teach everything. When speaking, some smiles were forced out of his face, but this smile was uglier than crying. Teach a group of murderous monsters who cannibalize people to learn computers. This kind of thing is 100 times more difficult than cracking the computer in the white area. But now that they have agreed, they don't dare to be sloppy. As for the mutant beasts, at the moment, one by one is too excited. It's just that they are excited not because they are learning computers, but because they think that as long as they have completed what eBay explained and learned things, then there will definitely be many food rewards next. Devour, evolve, become stronger. Yes, the IQs of these mutant beasts have improved, but they are far from eBay in terms of ideological realm. Swallowing food is the most important for them. Well, let's start now. eBay was not wordy and said lightly. After this voice reached the minds of these humans, it was like a huge shaking, leaving their heads blank. Wow. However, the surrounding mutant beasts, upon receiving eBay's order, rushed over. Chi, More than 1,000 mutant reticulated pythons spit out letters, their bodies constantly twisting. Roar. The mutant lions roared in their mouths. Their sharp-looking teeth seemed to be able to tear everything apart. Squeak. The mutant monkeys look very smart, but each one is full of intelligence. When these mutant beasts crazily crowded around, shouting at these humans for them to teach them quickly, the logistics staff of these mercenary bases felt that the whole world was dimmed. ZZZ. As for eBay, seeing this situation, he didn't react much, and his body slowly moved toward the periphery. The huge body rubbed against the ground, and the ZZ voice was particularly terrifying. When his body moved to the edge of the empty field, eBay entangled himself and watched quietly. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Because in the sea, many fish have been swallowed, and around this mercenary base, there are a large number of ships carrying the corpses of mutant beasts. On the mercenary base, these mutant beasts who are studying intently don't have to worry about food. The third day. The basic computer operations have been learned by all mutant beasts. Some mutant beasts with fingers, such as monkeys, orangutans, and even mice, all can crack and quickly type out lines of text on the computer. The fourth day. Many mutant beasts have already learned to program. The fifth day. Almost all mutant beasts are good at programming, especially mutant monkeys who have extremely high talents in this area. They can even make up some small programs on the spot and even hack other computers. Sixth day. The seventh day. 10th day. Everything that happened on the mercenary base was basically under eBay's observation. To be honest, the learning speed of these mutant beasts really shocked eBay. In 10 days, their computer operations were no longer overwhelming the mercenaries, and even some monkeys, and directly surpassed the mercenaries. Even one of the monkeys, after learning the technique, thought of a unique cracking method, ran to the white mercenary and taught him how to crack the computer in the white area faster. In addition, in terms of language, these mutant beasts also have unprecedented talent. Although they can't communicate with other creatures directly through sound like eBay, but through these days of learning, almost all mutant beasts have mastered English. It seems that in the future, English will become the most common way for these mutant beasts to communicate. If you can't speak, just use words. Wisdom is incredible. If you are any human, I am afraid that a snake can go online. A word that was circulated on the internet at the time has really come true. You will never think that the person sitting in front of the computer chatting with you across the network cable is a person or a dog. Chi-Chi. eBay spit out Shinzi. When all the mutant beasts learned the skills from the mercenaries, he spit Shinzi in his mouth, muttering to himself, "The key to strengthening the body. But only by mastering technology can we get out of the earth." Fortunately, these mutant beasts are very intelligent. The knowledge in my mind is like a blank sheet of paper, and the speed of learning is extremely high. As long as there are enough resources and enough time, eBay can even imagine that these mutant beasts can also make high-tech products. Snake God. We have taught everything about the meeting. Can we let us go now? We don't want to die yet. Yes. As long as we let us go, we will never talk nonsense about things here. Snake God, let us go. On the 11th day, when these mercenaries in charge of logistics realized that they had nothing to teach, they stopped their work and pleaded with eBay in a trembling voice. But when these people begged, the white man responsible for cracking the white area computer, with the help of some mutant monkeys, the speed of cracking was comprehensively improved, and the brute force cracking ended. 100% progress. Is it on? When a mutant monkey saw this place, he tapped yes with his finger, very excited. At the mercenary base, the air was a little chilly. For eBay, these 11 days had just passed by in a flash. But for those logistics mercenaries who are still alive, it is definitely the most difficult. Their will, countless times almost completely shattered. Of course, those mutant beasts have become completely different these days. The food on the surrounding ships can be devoured if you are hungry. At the same time, the knowledge learned from these humans is slowly changing them. The wise light was constantly released from their bodies. Compared with the previous beasts that only knew how to eat and kill, They didn't know how much progress was made. Wong. Cracked. I succeeded in cracking. When the mutant monkey hit the yes button, the computer screen flashed and some snowflakes appeared in it, and then pictures began to appear. Then the monkey shouted at eBay excitedly. Haha. When the voice fell, all the mutant beasts were full of envy when they looked at the monkey. Okay. eBay, who was entrenched on the edge of the empty seat, suddenly raised his head when he heard this. Huh. First glanced at the humans. You can just step aside. As for what to do, I will think again. ZZ. Spit out the letter, said this, and then the huge body slowly moved towards the cracked computer. And you? Now you can all go to eat on the boat docked at the beach. You can't watch the next thing. eBay continued. Wow. When the sound fell, all the mutant beasts were overjoyed, including the monkey who was controlling the computer without any hesitation and rushed towards the surroundings, for fear that the speed slowed down a little and they could not get food. 3 minutes later, only eBay, a few computers, and a few shivering humans remained at the scene. eBay is fast. After arriving near the computer, the body entangled in a circle and directly encloses all the computers, so that it does not affect the operation of the computers. The computer brought out of the white area was successfully cracked. At this moment, the snowflakes inside finally ended, and then a picture of a young man appeared. This man, looking less than 15 years old, was full of excitement and excitement. Oh, I bought it. It's incredible. My name is Thomas. When I was in school, everyone called me a genius, but I always felt very lonely. Until now, I was under a mysterious organization. I was about to conduct an epic-making research, and I felt that I found my own value. You must not have imagined how much impact this research will have on mankind. Hey, we are waiting for it. I believe that in the near future, my name, Thomas, will resound all over the world. ZZZ. The first screen ends, and there is a snowflake in the computer. But there is no need for eBay to operate next. The video inside, he continues to play. 1 minute later, the screen on the computer reappears. However, the appearance of the man inside has changed a lot. The body has become stronger and the childishness on his face has disappeared. Instead, he is mature and handsome. It seems that he has reached his 20s, but his complexion is slightly regrets and disappointments. 5 years. Time flies so fast. Life on the island is very boring. The most important thing is that our research has never made breakthrough progress. Humans, biology, genes, gene chains, evolution. It's unbelievable that any life can be so complicated. But don't worry, Thomas, I will never allow failure. ZZZ. The same snowflake. Another minute passed. The man's age has reached middle age, and he seems to be in his 30s, with some snow white on both sides of his hair. But this time, the man's face was full of excitement, which was even crazier than the original scene. God, today is definitely the luckiest day. Look what I found. The screen jumped, and behind Thomas, there was a 1.5-meter long potted plant with an orange tree in it, but the tree was there. Without any external force, he was constantly twisting like a living thing. Thomas casually picked an orange from the tree. Then, in the next moment, the place where the orange was removed is the rapid blooming, the fruit, and soon a brand new orange was already ripe and hung in its original position. Isn't it shocking to see that? Yes, this is not a special effect, nor is it a science fiction, but a real existence. A small accident in the research process created a miracle of life. When plants are endowed with living creatures, what will they become? Food, resources, everything will be resolved. The picture is cut short. After seeing this, eBay's eyes were all indifferent. eBay naturally knew what the moving orange tree represented. It's unimaginable that living plants were made in this way, and how old was you at that time? Human technology and research far surpassed eBay's imagination. The picture continues. eBay also watched patiently. After all, compared with these things, he now has a system and has evolved into a Titan Python, which is obviously even more incredible. ZZ. The picture appeared again. This time the man was in his 40s and his hair was all white. There are many vicissitudes of life in my eyes. Even wrinkles appear in the corners of my eyes. The life on the experimental island made his body flow faster in the years. And this time, the man's expression seemed much calmer. Oh, this is the 1100th time. The result of the experiment is still a failure. The technology of living plants is not very mature. Once some plants evolve, they will produce offensive power. I originally thought that this technology could bring humans a huge change, but now it seems that it is a disaster or the future. It is really uncertain, and just an hour ago, they came and copied all the evolutionary liquids and technologies of living plants and prohibited let's study this technology again. At first we thought it was heaven, but now we realize that everything here is just false freedom. ZZ. At the end of the picture, there was a lot of loneliness in Thomas's eyes. Okay, but when Yibei saw this, his body was startled. Who are they? Take away the evolution liquid of living plants, and the technology is also copied. Does this mean that in the human world, there are also other places where living plants exist? Chi-Chi. The letter was spit out. Cold eyes. The look in his eyes is even more profound. It seems that the secret of the experimental island has long been known by humans. In the mercenary base, Yibei's body was entrenched. In the middle of his body, the cracked computer in the white area was operating normally. In the vicinity of Yibei, the mercenary logistics personnel, trembling and waiting quietly, had no idea of running away. On the computer, the picture continues. ZZZ. The large snowflakes ended. The appearance of Thomas appeared from inside again, but this time, his face looked even older. Many gullies have appeared on the forehead. There was also a young assistant who looked less than 20 years old. But this time, Thomas still looks pretty good. Human beings are not alone. The Earth has existed for hundreds of millions of years, but how long is the birth of mankind? Today, in the process of research, we accidentally found a mysterious bead in the belly of a deep-sea fish. An incredible thing. The huge energy contained in it can speed up the progress of our research. Hope God bless that day soon. In addition, this bead, at least hundreds of millions of years old, all signs indicate that on the Earth, humans are definitely not the first intelligent creatures to appear, nor are they the race with the fastest technological development. When talking about this, Thomas slowly took out a bead of white light from the releaser. After Yibei saw this, his eyes suddenly narrowed. That's right. This bead is the spirit bead. Exactly the same. Found in the belly of a deep-sea fish? That is to say, in the ravine deep in the sea, there are still fishes successfully escaping. This is indeed incredible. This video is very long. Next, all are some scenes that Thomas recorded about the research progress, but every time he is recorded, Thomas looks a lot older. At last, another short video caught Yibei's attention. When the picture appeared, Thomas looked very weak. He was leaning on a wheelchair with a bottle hanging on his arm. He seemed to be seriously ill. A middle-aged man was standing next to him. The man was naturally Thomas's assistant. In this time, the appearance of the two men is surprisingly calm. Actually, from the time I first came to this island, I thought about it. Maybe my whole life's efforts are just making wedding dresses for others. My dream is to change the whole world so that humans can live better. Just now, they are here again. Yes, our research has made a breakthrough. When testing organisms, animals can be mutated, and both the strength of the body and the lifespan will be increased. This is originally a thing. It's something to be happy about, but now, I have a feeling of anxiety, because this is not a real finished medicine. This kind of progress is also a failure. This kind of evolution has huge flaws. I don't know if I am right or not. Wrong. If you give me another chance to choose, maybe I will never come here again. When talking, Thomas shook his head slightly. Snapped. The assistant behind did not show any expression and then closed the video with a snap. On Yibei's side, the computer turned into a snowflake again. The mutant plants and mutant beasts on the experimental island did not evolve because of a virus leak. It is that mankind has achieved breakthrough research results. The information obtained before is simply fake. You can even say that the mercenary base can discover the experimental island, perhaps from the beginning, It has been planned by some people. Who is it? Yi-Bei's pupil shrank suddenly. At the same time, the video on the computer has reached the final stage. Chi-Chi. The snowflake ends. The picture on the computer became clear again, but this time, Yi-Bei's first glance did not fall on Thomas, but placed it in the environment behind him. What used to be full of various technology products has been messed up. The entire laboratory, like ruins, seemed to have gone through a fierce battle, and there were even many blood stains on the ground. Thomas had gray hair, few teeth fell, and the assistant beside him was gone. When looking at the computer, all those dry eyes were lonely and regretful. Perhaps this is my last video recording. Today, they came again and killed all the people involved in this research. I am now hiding in a completely closed room, which I secretly built over the years. They don't know. Of course, the mysterious bead from the ancient civilization also brought it here. I'm going to give it to a python for research. I hope it can be brought to the destined humans. This room will be able to turn it on again. If it's correct, those people must have left, and the python stayed here for a month, and there is enough food. When Thomas was talking, the lingzhu in his hand swayed slightly in front of the computer. In a cage behind him, there was still a reticulated python. If Yi-Bei looked right, the python was right. It was the female snake that gave her spirit pearls. ZZ. The video on the computer has completely ended after this. When the video is finished playing, a progress bar pops up directly. Reminder: the video has been successfully browsed. Now it will be destroyed. 10%, 50%, 100%. The video directly turned on the automatic destruction state. In less than 3 seconds, the video has been completely deleted during that period. Leave no traces. It seems that the truth of the matter is far beyond my expectation. Thomas used his body as food, let the female snake live in that closed room for a month, and then left with the spirit orb. However, those studies were successful. All were taken away by humans. What kind of organization was it? Also, it was obvious that this computer was placed in a separate secret room. Why were there many abandoned computers next to it when it was found? During this period, humans have been there? Chi-Chi. Yi-Bei spit out the letter, looking at the computer that had completely destroyed the data. Many doubts flashed in his eyes. Although these videos reveal a lot of valuable information, but made the whole thing confusing. Wow. After thinking for a long time, Yi-Bei didn't have any clues. The body wrapped around the computer suddenly smashed the whole computer with a sudden violent force, making a clattering sound. No matter. There is systematic help. And with this powerful body now, if humans really master the semi-finished evolution potion, it would be good for me. After all, it would have a lot more evolution points to devour mutant humans. Yi-Bei thought so in his heart. Okay. It's just that this idea just fell, and a gleaming object in the broken computer immediately attracted Yi-Bei's attention. Mercenary base. The logistics staff of the mercenary organization saw Yi-Bei directly crush the computer that had been cracked for more than 10 days, and sweat dripped on his forehead, and his complexion was even paler. Ruined. Snake. Isn't the snake dissatisfied? No, I don't want to die like that. Which of you has satellite phones in your hands? I have. What do you want to do? Of course I called for rescuers. When I hacked my computer, I had already sent a message quietly, but no one responded. Now calling is the best way. Quick, hit it, while he hasn't moved yet. When the fear was at the extreme, these mercenaries were talking very lowly, with a trace of killing intent in their eyes. There were a large number of mutant beasts around before. They didn't have the guts. Now those mutant beasts are all going to eat, and Yi-Bei's body, entwined together, motionless after crushing the computer. These logistics mercenaries seem to be the best hope. Take out the satellite phone. Quick dial. From time to time, I looked at Yi-Bei for a while, worried about being discovered. In fact, for those mercenaries, and what they said, Yi-Bei, who has strong mental power, knew it well, but at this moment, Yi-Bei didn't pay attention to them. What is this? Chi-Chi. The scarlet letter spit out. After crushing the computer, his eyes glowed with ray of light. Because in the ruins of this computer, there is a controller the size of a human palm. On that controller, there are no buttons, only 2 red dots and some unique map signs. One of the red dots is the refined state. The other small red is constantly moving, and the red light is still beating. Host, if it's correct, this should be a locator. 2 red dots represent 2 things, because they were found here. All the stationary red dots represent this computer that was destroyed by you. And the other red dot should be where the female snake is. Dr. Thomas gave the spirit orb to the female snake, and he will definitely keep his back. The sound of the system resounded very abruptly. Yi Bei's question just now was clearly talking to himself. The system's answer made Yi Bei's body suddenly startled. You said that the moving red dot represents the female snake system. What else do you know? Yi Bei's voice was rather rapid. The mother snake is related to the task that the host is about to complete. I just reminded it a little bit. I'm sorry, the host. This system doesn't know anything else. The voice was cold. After saying this, it was completely gone. This guy must be hiding something. Yi Bei is not stupid. The system suddenly came out to say a word, and then said that I don't know anything. The reason turned out to be related to the task. How could I believe this kind of thing? But looking at the attitude of the system, Yi Bei couldn't have much hope anymore. Without hesitation, the controller was collected into the death forest. The moment it was taken in, the small red that had been stationary went out. In the Sahara Desert, where the ground is thousands of meters deep, if someone says that a research institute is built under this ground, it is estimated that all mankind will be crazy. To build a research institute in the desert, not to mention resource issues, just to open a site, I don't know how difficult it is. But now, in the depths of the earth, countless figures are constantly busy. On the walls, white light bulbs are hung everywhere, illuminating the place. In the research institute, there are a lot of dazzling experimental equipment, which ordinary people can't understand at all. At the same time, the computer is turned on for several days. The computer screen is analyzing the continuous combination of genes, then split out the pattern. There are also humans wearing white research uniforms walking around constantly. There are huge cages all around, and inside are some mutant beasts with extremely mutated bodies. Ho ho ho. Zizi. Chi Chi. Oh. Wow. Mutant beasts. Their eyes were full of killing intent, and they kept shouting. But when these men in white research uniforms walked past these cages, they weren't even a little surprised. They walked past these mutant beasts indifferently, and then walked to another area. If this area is exposed, it is estimated that the whole world will be shocked. It was a field with no end in sight, covering tens of thousands of square meters. The energy-intensive white light bulb is on. Make this place like day. The power that can build such a site in the depths of the desert, think about it, knows how terrifying. And the things above this ground are obviously more terrifying. Those are huge glass cages. These glass materials can withstand the attack of bullets, and even rockets can't hurt them. In each cage, there is a human with red fruit all over. There are men and women. There are even many children. However, it is said that they are human. In fact, they have completely exceeded the scope of human beings. It is obviously a childish face. The height of the body has reached more than 3 meters. He was obviously an old man, but his muscles exploded like a mountain bag. His eyes were blood red, and his mouth had sharp fangs. Eat, eat. Ah, I want to eat, I want to eat. Asshole, give me food, I want food. Kill you all. Bang bang. Through the glass, these locked-up mutants slapped frantically, with too much force, all blood stains on their arms, and they ignored them. In their throats, such voices continued to be heard. The most special thing is their eyes. Cold, fierce, and full of appetite, they have completely lost their human nature. However, each such human being is full of powerful explosiveness. As long as any one of them is released, it will definitely be able to easily remove the entire research. All ordinary people were killed. Da-da-da. A rapid footstep. When the group of humans wearing white research uniforms just walked into this area, soon after them, another person chased after them. Tony, something happened. The coordinates on the locator on the experimental island disappeared again. The position could not be locked. The female snake was caught by us, but the spirit orb was still not obtained. What should I do now? The speaker was a white man with a nervous tone, and the man he called Tony. After hearing this, he turned his head slowly. If Yi-Bei could see this scene, he would definitely be full of amazement. Because Yi-Bei knew this person named Tony clearly. Tony. He seems to be about 30 years old, and in this research institute, he is definitely young. However, from the current situation, it is obvious that everyone is dominated by him. Because this Tony was clearly the assistant who had been pushing Thomas in the wheelchair when he was on the experimental island. The spirit orb was taken away by the female snake. Is it really swallowed by the female snake? This shouldn't be. On his body, there is not enough energy remaining. Since it was placed there, things have already worked. Now destroy the experimental island. That area has no value for existence, and then slowly look for the spirit orbs. As long as these experimental bodies are available, that thing is not important. And signal where the source disappeared. Bombs were also dropped. I need to be safe. There was no expression on Tony's face, and his voice was very flat. Yes. The white man who followed trembled slightly, but answered very decisively. The next moment, he retreated quickly. Hey, my little darlings, don't worry. Food is something we have here, but you must obediently cooperate with my research. Imagine if one day, when you evolve to be as powerful as Superman, absolutely will thank me. When the white man left, Tony took a group of researchers and walked around the site leisurely. From time to time outside, knocking on those glass. Said this to the humans who have mutated inside. The smile on his face is distorted. Compared to the young man Yi-Bei saw in the video, they were completely different people. Mercenary base. After destroying the computer and taking away the controller, Yi-Bei's body moved. Whizzing. In the next second, his huge body transformed and stood up, condescendingly looking at the human beings who were calling. Chi-Chi. The scarlet letter was spit out from his mouth, and a strong smell spread out wantonly. Are you looking for help? Yi-Bei asked calmly. Thump. The voice fell. The logistics personnel of these mercenary bases dropped the satellite phones in their hands directly to the ground, and at the same time their legs thumped uncontrollably, and they knelt down. Snake, Snake God, we were wrong. No. Let us go. I don't want to die yet. Although they are logistic mercenaries, they have received the most rigorous training before, but at this time, they will collapse to this state, which is enough to see how much fear they are facing now. Oh, if I heard it right a moment ago, someone else said that the signal was also sent out in the computer. Humans? Really disappointing creatures? Laugh. The voice fell, and Yi-Bei's originally calm eyes suddenly burst out with a terrifying killing intent. A volume of scarlet letters. The white man who said that he sent a message on the computer before was caught by Yi-Bei. Click, click. After deliberately learning the posture of a human being, after the white man joined the group, Yi-Bei's sharp teeth snapped, snapping bone-breaking sound, and the bright red blood spilling from the corners of the mouth. Let the mercenaries who are still alive completely shocked one by one. In my eyes, you are just food. When the value is used up, go to death. This horrified look made Yi-Bei quite satisfied. Chi-Chi. After the sound fell, Yi-Bei moved again. The muscles of the body burst out with great strength, and the speed is not affected by the huge body at all. In the blink of an eye, all the mercenary and logistics personnel who had returned were all rolled into their mouths. Golyulu. This time Yi-Bei didn't chew anymore. With the help of the system, it just swallowed all these still alive mercenaries in an instant, and it turned into the purest energy in the blink of an eye. After devouring the first human, Yi-Bei's mentality has undergone a huge change. When killing everyone in the entire mercenary base, and knowing more and more secrets, Yi-Bei's own transformation is getting bigger and bigger. Indifferent. Selfish. Only evolution is the most important thing, which he has never forgotten. Okay. When these humans were swallowed, Yi-Bei originally planned to see the situation of the mutant beasts near the beach of the mercenary base. As a result, the system's voice suddenly resounded. After hearing this voice, Yi-Bei's eyes showed a touch of excitement. Congratulations to the host for successfully devouring 7 humans and earning 70,000 evolution points. Congratulations to the host's evolutionary points reaching 1 million points, and the physical fitness will be comprehensively improved. May I ask whether the host continues? 2 consecutive sounds. When the system was not upgraded before, when the evolution points were full, the system would not remind him that Yi-Bei's body would directly improve at a speed visible to the naked eye. But now it's different. The system will even ask Yi does North agree. Of course, continue. Yi-Bei did not hesitate. The strength of the body is naturally the stronger the better. Although the Titan python is powerful, there are also sky-swallowing giant python and higher-level species. In comparison, he is still very weak. Click, click, ZZ. Yi-Bei's voice fell, and in the next second, the body entrenched on the ground directly began to produce crazy changes. The bones in the body clicked and rattled. The muscles in the body, as well as the diameter and length, also increased rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Yi-Bei was too familiar with this feeling. There is no pain. On the contrary, it is full of comfort, unprecedented refreshment. As the body is strengthened, the energy in the body is also rapidly increasing. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes passed in a flash. And 10 minutes later, Yi-Bei's physical changes finally stopped. In front of Yi-Bei's eyes, the fluorescent information panel appeared again. Infinite Evolution System. Name, Yi-Bei. Intermediate Species, Titan Python. Ancient Creature, Legendary Existence. Age, 1 year old. Lifespan, 500 years. The number of genes in the first stage of the evolution of the Titan python, 700/1000. Evolution of the Titan python. The whole stage consists of 7 stages. Evolution points, 1000/10000000. Evolution points, increase body size and major body data. No longer provide species evolution. Level, LV3. After leveling up, genes can be changed to move towards a higher level of snake-like species. Language, biological common language. Ability, full fangs, fire breathing, underwater free movement, enhanced 2 times, backstab, ability grant. Apostle, 5, use number 3, namely Wong 1, golden lion, blood moon. Treasure, Chinkuan bag, with a usable area of 20 square kilometers. Territory, 30 kilometers in diameter, centered on the location of the host. The spiritual power coverage is all territories. Length, 150 meters. Average body diameter, 330 cm. Body resistance to stress, level 100. It can withstand the simultaneous explosion of 500 rockets without any damage. Speed, 90 m/section. Strength, 180 t, can easily lift up to 180 t weight. Weight, 230 tons. Blood value, 100 out of 100. Body damage value, 100 out of 100. Mental strength, 60 out of 100. Prizes, 5 silver treasure chests. Task 1. The number of snakes grows to 10,000. The task reward, the number of evolution genes plus 100. Task 2. Complete the first stage of evolution of Titan Python. Task reward, evolution gene number plus 100. Task 3. Rescue the female snake. Task reward, the number of evolution genes plus 200. Yi-Bei quickly read this message. The length of the body has increased from 120 meters to 150 meters, which is a full 30 meters. This is definitely beyond Yi-Bei's expectation. As expected, the system did not pit itself, and there was a blood pattern in the middle. After the python, as long as it evolves in the Titan python stage, there will be huge changes. In addition, there have been very big changes in all major numerical values. Body weight, power, diameter, speed. Although the number of increase is not large, it is definitely not to be underestimated. It has reached the level of Yi-Bei, and any increase in the number is extremely scary. However, there is also a number that attracted Yi-Bei's attention. The mental strength is only 60 points left. During this period of time, the ability to freely move in the water given to the mutant beasts in the sea, and the constant use of mental power when in this mercenary base, this consumption can be said to be unprecedentedly huge. But the number only decreased by 40 points. From this point of view, in terms of mental power, eBay didn't need to worry at all. Okay, let's take a look at the situation of those mutant beasts. eBay was quite satisfied with this evolution. How long has it been since? He believed that when he appeared in front of the mutant beasts again, their eyes would definitely be shocked. ZZ. Click, click. The huge body moved. The ground on this side of the mercenary base is made of concrete, but facing the weight of eBay's level, cracks continue to appear on the cement floor, making clicks, clicks, and even some rocks. Turned it out. Around the mercenary base. When eBay led the entire group of mutant beasts on the island, another part of the mutant beasts who were responsible for pulling the boats later also pulled the 169 ships over, all of them parked on the shore. Now, the mutant beasts, with eBay's order, began to devour them madly. And in the process of devouring, Wang Wan, Chunhua Qiyu, pleasure-seeking, and the golden lion. Because they are the earliest evolution and the strongest, the speed of devouring is naturally much faster. When fighting for food, they are even more has numerous advantages. Especially Wang Wan. Now his body length has reached 80 meters. A mutant wild boar that was killed in battle, that several meters high body, he opened his mouth at least slightly and swallowed it all. After being transformed into energy. Immediately after the web article, we started looking for the next target. On the experimental island, there were tens of thousands of mutant beasts killed in battle. When they left, every ship was filled with food. But now, it doesn't seem to be enough for these mutant beasts. Wang Wan is just one of them. The more than 1,000 mutant reticulated pythons are also crazy. ZZ. Chi 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 chi. The body that was more than 10 meters long was constantly surging, crisscrossing the hull of the ship, densely packed. This kind of scene. When eBay first saw it, he felt a tremor in his heart. Golyulu. Click. The mouth was open, and sharp teeth were exposed. As long as he saw the food, he turned into a hole and swallowed it. The bones were broken directly, and the clicks and clicks continued to spread. The strong smell of blood in the air lasts for a long time. Variation monkey. Mutant gorilla. Mutant hamsters, ants, and a large number of birds. They look crazy when they swallow them. The 169 warships that were originally piled with food were swallowed by these mutant beasts, and there were not many left. Okay, you all swallow all of this. Chi-Chi. Looking at the situation in front of him, eBay spit out a scarlet letter from his mouth and said lightly. Originally, he still wanted to swallow some things. Although he could no longer continue to increase his gene points, those things could still increase his evolution points. The physical enhancement just now made eBay realize that evolution points are also very important. Every time you improve your physical fitness, your various abilities are not just a little bit stronger. Haha. After hearing eBay's voice, the mutant beasts who were constantly devouring food stopped their movements, looking at eBay with a sloppy gaze. When they saw eBay's body enlarged again, their eyes were full of shock. King, king, king. Neat sounds resounded above the sea. At the same time, when these mutant beasts uttered their sounds, their eyes were all surrender. You continue to swallow. These big ships are no longer useful. After the food is swallowed, these ships are destroyed. If they are there, it is easy to expose the target. Later, we can dive into the bottom of the sea. This is the best way to hide. eBay spit out Shinzi and continued. After this frantic devouring, the bodies of these mutant beasts have undergone terrible changes. On the body, there is a terrifying explosive power at a glance.
Yes.
Neat voice. Then, the terrible swallowing sound resounded again. eBay's huge body was entrenched on the beach, quietly watching these mutant beasts. He roughly analyzed the mutant beasts that were still alive, and there were 18 species in total. Mutant lion, mutant python, mutant monkey, mutant orangutan, mutant mouse, mutant ant, mutant seagull, mutant eagle, mutant sparrow, mutant wild boar, mutant dog, mutant pheasant, mutant leopard, mutant tiger, mutant cow, mutant sheep, mutant cat. Of course, originally, the types of mutant beasts on the experimental island definitely didn't stop there. It's just that the attack of the mercenary organization destroyed some. eBay also slaughtered all mutant crocodiles before. The mutant beasts that exist now are the most common. It can also be judged that on the experimental island, the creatures that Thomas was mainly looking for were doing research. The attacking type can be roughly divided into mutant lions, mutant pythons, mutant leopards, and mutant tigers. The food type is mutant wild boar, mutant pheasant, mutant dog, mutant cow, mutant sheep, and mutant cat. Fowls can be used for reconnaissance, mutant seagulls, great eagles, sparrows. By the way, there are also mutant blood eagles sent to the East China Sea. As for the type of learning, monkeys, pythons, mice, and mutant ants with a lot of hands and feet that are used to improve mutant beast technology, there is no problem. When the mutant beasts were devouring food wantonly, Chi-Chi, on Yi-Bei's side, spitting out Shinzi, they have quickly assigned their positions. In the future, these mutant beasts are all assistants who follow themselves and fight the world. Only when they are placed in the right position can they be used to their best use. Rumble. However, just as eBay was thinking about his future plans, there was a loud rumbling sound, as if it had erupted from the soul. The sound was extremely loud, and a storm suddenly set off above the sea. What happened? This strange feeling made eBay's body tremble. The sound of the system also followed. Host. The experimental island has been completely destroyed by the missile and razed to the ground. All the creatures on it have disappeared, and the explosion sounded from there. The experimental island was destroyed? This news is really unexpected. However, when the system sound fell, eBay felt a sudden tremor in his mind, a feeling of coldness spreading in his body without a reason. In danger, his eyes widened in an instant. What is this feeling? eBay's eyes widened. Any beast has a natural premonition of danger. The stronger the beast, the stronger the premonition of danger. eBay felt cold all over, and the cold breath spread in his body, so he quickly realized what this was like. Humans not only completely destroyed the experimental island, I also want to completely destroy the island where the mercenary base is located. Laugh. After thinking of this, eBay's eyes flashed a cold light. Whizzing. Immediately afterwards, all his huge spiritual power domains were radiated out. Listen well, everyone. Don't swallow any food. Dive into the sea immediately for me. The scarlet letter spit out. Growl. eBay felt the crisis. But those mutant beasts, not as powerful as eBay, are still in a daze at the moment. But one thing, they did a good job. After seeing eBay's strength, they knew very well that, no matter what, at any time, they only need to follow eBay's orders to execute, without any doubt. Plop, plop, plop. Wow. Rumble. Suddenly, the mutant beasts, whether in the process of devouring food or looking for food, all left the ship and dived into the sea. This kind of voice immediately boiled over the mercenary base. ZZ. eBay didn't hesitate either. The feeling of danger made his body numb. Quickly put the muscles in his body in an explosive state. At a speed of 90 m/sec, it burst out of his body in an instant. Whizzing. On the beach, eBay's huge body directly turned into a black shadow. Wow. In the next moment, a huge crash went into the sea. Sea. Splashing water. Wong, what happened? Is there a new mission originally? What about those ships? Wang Wan, Chunhua Chiyue, after looking for joy when he saw eBay also got into the sea, he hurriedly asked. Because they didn't feel the danger, they were still very puzzled. After all, there was still a lot of food on the 169 warships that hadn't been swallowed. For them, that was a good thing that made their bodies stronger. It's dangerous. Everyone dived deeper. Chi. eBay spit out the letter, did not answer the python's words. His voice was cold. The field of spiritual power has spread, and the gift of ability is also opened. Whoosh whoosh. All mutant beasts have the ability to move freely in the sea. After hearing this, all the mutant beasts put away the doubts in their hearts, and their bodies quickly continued to deepen into the sea. What is going to happen? At this time, Ibe was also extremely puzzled. However, when the body quickly dived into the depths of the sea, Ibe could still observe the situation on the mercenary base because the scope of the domain ability was large enough. Okay, just when Ibe was unpredictable, suddenly, he felt that something familiar suddenly appeared in the domain. That thing is very huge. Whoosh whoosh. The speed is even faster. The body rubbed against the air, making a whistling sound. Compared to Yi-Bei's speed of 90 m/sec, he didn't know how much faster. Damn it, is this a missile? After observing clearly, Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi and muttered in his mouth. Yes, it's a missile. And it's not an ordinary missile. If it's correct, the weapon that was destroyed on the experimental island is also this kind of thing. In that missile, I don't know how much destructive explosives are hidden. Wong, what missile? I also feel a danger. However, the current position should be safe. Are humans attacking again? Wang Wan, Shunhua Qyu, paused in the deep sea for pleasure and joy. When he mentioned human beings, appetite and coldness coexisted in his eyes. Boom. Rumble. Boom. However, their voices just fell. An extremely huge explosion sounded directly into their ears. The entire sea seemed to boil at this moment. At this moment, Yi-Bei did not stingy with the consumption of mental power and directly shared it out. Then, all the mutant beasts could see clearly. That is a white missile. Very large, at least several hundred meters long and at least 5 meters thick. The speed is scary. Flew from far away in the sky. Finally, it landed on the mercenary base with great precision. Rumble. At the moment of the collision, the dazzling white light was released from it, and at the same time the terrifying sparks continued, and then the rumbling sound followed. That very large mercenary base was razed to the ground by the missile's shock wave in the next moment. Some buildings near the core area of the missile. Even the steel was instantly melted into molten iron by the high temperature. The gray mushroom cloud is thousands of meters high. The entire island of the mercenary base disappeared completely in the blink of an eye, leaving nothing, except for the debris floating in the sea. And the blown-up stones are slowly sinking into the seabed. At the same time, the intense high temperature caused a large amount of seawater to soar in temperature and even boil. This? Good. What a terrifying power. Is this a human weapon? Too terrifying. In the depths of the sea, the mutant beasts saw such a scene through Yi-Bei's realm, and they were stunned for a long time, and then from their mouths, some voices like this slowly came out with trembling. As for Yi-Bei, the light in his eyes was extremely cold. Now his body is strong enough to withstand the simultaneous attack of 500 rockets, but the explosive power of this missile made Yi-Bei feel an unprecedented shock. It's hard to imagine. If you are in the very center of the explosion, you might be wiped out in an instant. Host, you don't have to lose. Above the Titan Python, there are many higher biological levels. As long as they continue to evolve, after reaching a certain level, it is impossible for any human weapon to harm you. The voice of the system came leisurely. Huh. Yi-Bei didn't answer the system, but in the depths of the sea, his eyes swept across all the mutant beasts. There is endless food in the sea. Next, we have to look for a place that is very far away. So, when in the sea, everyone can swallow creatures wantonly. Just keep a sufficient distance from me. Everyone in today's scene, I must have seen it all. Perhaps our single combat power is indeed very powerful in hand-to-hand combat, but it is still fragile when facing human weapons. In addition to continuous evolution, everyone must understand that science and technology make weapons. We must also master them all. Chi-Chi, the scarlet letter spit out. When he said this, Yi-Bei's eyes were extremely cold. I thought I could find an opportunity to avenge in the human world, but now it seems that this is not enough. Far from enough? Deep in the sea, Yi-Bei took thousands of mutant beasts, all dived into the deepest position of the seabed. Mutant lions, Their limbs are walking directly on the bottom of the sea. Yi-Bei's body is also constantly moving on the bottom of the sea. Thousands of mutant beasts that can only live on land, marching on the bottom of the sea in this way, it is not to mention much shock. Just now, the atmosphere before these mutant beasts was very heavy. Yi-Bei walked in the forefront. Behind him, many mutant beasts finally couldn't help but started talking in a low voice. The weapons of human beings are terrible. An island was blown up? Yeah, it's horrible. Is this the technology Wang said? I'm afraid it is. We have learned computers before, and if I have the opportunity, I will also make that kind of horrible weapon. Those human beings can use it against us, and we can use it against them. It was a group of mutant monkeys who had such a conversation. It's not enough. Our body is still too weak. It must become stronger, and it must continue to devour food, so as to keep up with the king's footsteps. Humans, I want to eat them all head to head. The golden lion brought his mutant group of lions, and when he was walking on the bottom of the sea, such words also appeared in his mouth. When it comes to humans, especially the golden lions, his eyes are very murderous. It is estimated that when he was on the experimental island, he had a very unfriendly story with humans. Become stronger so that human weapons cannot harm us. This should be the solution. Development of technology is also necessary. Although we are pythons, we are also intelligent creatures now. Wangwan, Chunhua Qyu, having fun, and more than 1,000 mutant reticulated pythons are also whispering. Naturally, these voices cannot be concealed from Yi-Bei's domain. However, Yi-Bei did not give any response to these words. Whoosh whoosh. Chi-chi. Yi-Bei's speed is very fast, and his body is always in front. His eyes were very cold. At the same time, he also had a general judgment in his heart. Intuition told him that the traces of the female snake and the explosion were definitely related to the 2 red dots on the controller. As for the bin, Yi-Bei also doubted it. But that suspicion was quickly dispelled. The goal of bin is to obtain a living mutant beast. How can it be possible to launch such a devastating missile directly? In addition, the only thing that exposes the target is the computer in the white area of the experimental island that has been artificially set up in advance. And at this time, Yi-Bei probably guessed it. If it's not wrong, what the mysterious organization wants is Lingzhu. Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi, muttering in his mouth. Call. Then, he took a deep breath. Put all the attention on this sea area. Swallow. Constantly devouring. When the body evolves to be strong enough, when humans can't stop any weapon, that day is the day of strong return. Although the Death Forest can be absolutely safe, it is not what Yi-Bei wants, really. When he went to the human world, he had to crush it all the way, swallow it all the way, and hide in the Death Forest. He wouldn't do it unless he had a last resort. Time flies. Yi-Bei took these mutant beasts and has been in the sea for 2 days. With the passage of time, the haze caused by the missile explosion on the mercenary base has been wiped out. The crazy devouring these days. Almost all the mutant beasts have more than doubled their overall strength again. In addition, the mystery in the sea and the beautiful scenery also allowed these mutant beasts to find new pleasures. These scenery, even Yi-Bei, felt excited. If he were not able to move freely in the water, maybe Yi-Bei would never come to the bottom of the sea for a lifetime. A large area of colorful and beautiful coral. Glowing fish. A sea creature that looks like a stone. There are countless kinds of fishes. These creatures together build this mysterious seabed. But, while marveling at the scenery, Yi-Bei took this group of mutant beasts, but he has not been idle. Turtle? Click. Even the bones are crushed and then swallowed. Golyulu. All kinds of fish? As long as there are places where the mutant beasts that Yi-Bei has passed by, it is no exaggeration to say that all living creatures have been wiped out. Swallow. Continue to swallow. Without any emotion, everything is aimed at evolution. When time passed for 3 full days, Yi-Bei stopped slightly. In 3 days, the number of gene points is only 10 o'clock, and the evolution of the gene level can be carried out. and the fighting power of the entire mutant beasts has increased by dozens of times again. Everyone, be careful. There is danger ahead. If it is correct, it is a school of sharks. Chi-Chi. Yibei spat out Shinzi, and when he stopped, all his eyes were excited. Shark. Carnivorous fish. It can be said that in the sea, sharks are the most ferocious, and countless fish will run away quickly when they see them. However, at this moment, Yibei didn't have any idea of running away. He had been lurking in the sea for so long. This was the first time he had discovered the existence of a school of sharks. Once swallowed, his gene points would definitely be full. More importantly, each of the sharks is very large, and its energy points are sufficient. Wong, what is a shark? Sharks? No matter what it is, as long as it is a living creature, it can be swallowed directly. Yes, come and eat one. Wong, Chunhua Qyu, and the 9 boa constrictors also spit out letters one after another. Everyone can wait here. Sharks are one of the most vicious fish in the sea. They are stronger than any fish we have encountered before. Yibei didn't give too much explanation. When speaking, the field of mental power spread to the sharks. Okay. In the next instant, Yibei's eyes widened. Because this school of sharks was not a real chance encounter. It was the sharks who were rushing towards him. What made Yibei even more amazed was that these sharks were definitely not ordinary sharks. Looking at their figures, it is clear that they are mutated sharks. There are mutant beasts on the experimental island. Could it be there are also a large number of mutant fish in the sea? Chi-Chi. At this moment, Yibei felt that the development of the matter seemed to far exceed his expectations. Wow! In the depths of the sea, a large number of sharks are advancing like crazy. On their backs, the sharp fins looked like a knife blade, and any creature could be killed. Mouth open, sharp teeth, full of horror. Besides, the appearance of these sharks subverts cognition. The belly of the mutant shark is dark red. In the azure water, like blood, the outer skin is light blue. When moving fast, the body is directly integrated with the sea. If it is not Yibei's mental power if observed by the realm, even if these sharks rush to within 200 meters, they may not be able to detect them with the naked eye. There are more terrible. Their size is beyond comprehension. The length of each head is at least about 30 meters. The number of sharks is more than 500 heads. It is no exaggeration to say that if such a shark school encounters a human submarine, it can easily tear it apart. Now, in the group of sharks, a huge shark king with a body length of more than 100 meters, with its mouth closed and a strange wave on its dorsal fin, which is communicating with the sharks. I found a lot of creatures in the front. I can feel their strength. Similarly, as long as we can swallow them this time, we can definitely become stronger. In the deep sea world, even if we encounter those giant whales, there will be a battle. Power. The Shark King's voice is cold and strong. After the mutation, their wisdom has also been partially improved. Although it is much weaker than the mutant beasts on Yibei's side, it is definitely far superior to ordinary fish.
Yes.
Eat, eat. Kill them. After the sound fell, all the sharks responded quickly. Then, when they rushed to Yibei, the speed was even faster. Whoosh whoosh. Wow. In the depths of the sea constantly vibrated, and such a voice arbitrarily spread into Yibei's mind. After analyzing the number and situation of the shark group, at this moment, the excitement in Yibei's heart is getting stronger and stronger. It is necessary to devour some sharks. But this kind of shark group, if it can be controlled, is definitely a weapon in the sea. Wang, Chunhua Qyu, fun-seeking, golden lion, all hiding behind me and ready to fight. The sharks are coming soon. They are much stronger than you think. Chi-Chi. Yibei got serious. The body is entangled in the sea, and the other part is erected. Scarlet letter, sharp teeth. In fact, in terms of appearance alone, Yibei nowadays, compared to the sharks, is not sure how terrifying.
Yes.
Yes, king.
Yes.
After hearing Yibei's order, the mutant beasts did not dare to hesitate and moved towards the back of Yibei. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, the eyes of these mutant beasts slowly widened. After seeing the sharks rushing over, the mutant beasts who had been lurking on the bottom of the sea for so long felt fear for the first time. What kind of creatures are these? The golden lion stared at his eyes. All the golden hair on his body stood upside down, and his limbs were on the ground of the seabed. In the seabed, he stepped footsteps more than half a meter deep. The huge body stood proudly, like of war. After spotting the mutant shark, his eyes were filled with killing intent and appetite. Not only that, the aura in them is also very powerful. Within the domain, these mutant beasts can communicate normally through Yi Bei's mental power. After hearing the words of the golden lion, Wang Wen spit out a letter. His voice was very cold. The shark looked very powerful, but Wang Wen's battle the meaning is also full. Each end is so big. Never encountered it before. The eyes of the mutant reticulated python Chun were gleaming. When she said this, she wanted to rush to find a shark and dry it. She instinctively told her that as long as she swallows a shark, her strength will definitely skyrocket, more than eating. The role of fish is much greater. No, they are different from ordinary fishes. Could it be that they were injected with mutation potions by humans? A mutant monkey exclaimed. With their leadership, soon, the entire mutant beast group boiled over here. Endless killing intent was released from them. Yi Bei's body is entrenched in the forefront. Attention is also focused on those sharks. Wow. Kill. When the mutant sharks rushed to Yi Bei's side, the eyes of the mutant shark king, which was more than 100 meters long, lit up, and he gave an unceremonious order. Fish and beasts are different. Their perception of danger is very weak. After seeing the situation on Yi Bei's side, although I was curious about what kind of creatures these were, the first reaction was to rush to massacre. Because in their concept, in the entire ocean, the only thing that can compete with them is the mutant giant whale clan. Kill. The voice of the mutant shark king is loud. Within the domain, with the help of animal language, Yi Bei could easily understand the voice of the shark king. Mutated shark. If you want to die, come on. See if you can get past me. Chi-Chi. Roar. Yi Bei spit out the letter. When I said this, there was a low growl in my mouth. Okay. When this sentence was understood by all the mutant sharks very clearly, their speed immediately slowed down, and there was a touch of surprise in their eyes. Especially that huge mutant shark king. He stared at Yi Bei with his eyes wide open. Yes. Are you talking to me? Hairtail? The shark king's tone is not good. But the fact that this guy regards Yi Bei as a hairtail is totally intolerable. ZZ. Click. Click. Whoosh. Yi Bei is too lazy to talk nonsense. If he wants to subdue these mutant sharks, he must make them feel unprecedented fear. The huge energy stored in the body is emerging quickly. The bones creaked. In less than 0.1 second, Yi Bei's burst of power made his body speed reach the extreme. Whoosh. The body that was originally entrenched in the sea turned into a black shadow and rushed towards the school of mutant sharks with a whoosh. Chi-Chi. On the surface of the body, sharp scales appeared on the raised enemy. Murderous. Puff, puff, puff. There was almost no warning. Yi Bei, who rushed into the sharks, directly embarked on a tragic slaughter.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.